It's a beautiful day. Welcome again to this channel, and today we are about to discuss a beautiful concept on animal intelligence based on human being. But before that, let's make a recap. On our last two videos on animal intelligence, in exception of a video about life in the village, we came to conclusion that human being are virtuous being. That is to say, they have both rationality and irrationality with equal numbers, and that is what makes human beings special among all other creatures. And we went on with our discussion and hold that rationality and irrationality are incomplete facets of soul. That is to say, they cannot stand independently and help human beings to rise toward the contemplation of truth or to rise toward their future. The last part was the discussion on rationality and its effect when irrationality is neglected. Today is a sort of an introduction as we expose irrationality and its effect when rationality is neglected. Let's go. As we said before, human knowledge starts from experience. What exists is a foundation of what we know. Therefore, human knowledge based itself in the past, but all virtuous being uses their experience to contemplate about their future, to make their future, to move toward their future, which human knowledge cannot comprehend. And that is rationality cannot comprehend. At this point, fear of unknown comes in because of the darkness of our future today. Soren Kierkegaard once said, faith begins where reasons end. Where reason cannot comprehend, faith comes in, and that is irrationality. The movement from the past to the future, there is a gap between, and that gap must be filled by faith, and that is irrationality. Irrationality is a blueprint of our project. Therefore, irrationality is what motivates a virtuous being or human being to move from the past to the future with confidence despite of the darkness that exists in that movement. Philosophical, this is called a leap of faith. Those farmers, mostly who depend on weather condition, on crop cultivation, will never prepare their fields or farms and plant their crops if they have no leap of faith, if they have not that link between their past and their future. Because there is variation in weather condition and climatic change every year. There is some years there is no rain. There are some years there is plenty of rain. And this is not only limited to farmers, but to all who are moving from the past to the future in any kind of project which human or virtuous being is about to start. My friend, take note. The confidence of moving toward that darkness, which has no foundation from experience or reasoning, will never help someone or help human being or help virtuous being to arrive toward that true perfection which he desires. We have a perfect example in the history of Tanganyika, the Maji War. Kinjekitile Ngwale, the magician, a strong man, made Maji soldiers bath with a magic water which he created, so that when they are shot to death, those bullets will turn into water and they will be harmless. And that gave Maji soldiers courage and confidence in the battlefield of war. But at the end, that could not solve anything. They did not win the war. At the end, they were defeated. While irrationality is a blueprint of that perfect goodness residing in a darkness, reasoning or rationality is a candle that burns and gives us light to show us the way toward the darkness where that perfect goodness residing. Without this candle, without this light, we cannot see the way. We might be like those Maji soldiers who had confidence and courage to move toward their future, but without light, without candle, we won't arrive to that perfect goodness residing in the darkness or that which we desire. In conclusion, for those friends of mine who used to pray for 24 hours, 7 days in a week, fasting 9 days each month, speaking in tongues to invoke God to come for their rescue, that won't solve anything. Because grace of God is like rain. It depends on you to go out and fetch it, not to sleep, not to kneel down and ask God to bring to you His grace, to bring to you everything that you need when you are asleep. Because God is just, cannot give you what you do not deserve. Stay tuned and subscribe to our channel because there is a fire. Our next discussion is on witchcraft in relation to irrationality. That means when there is no reason, everything is witchcraft and magic. Thank you and goodbye.